Well, hello, good morning. This is Jeff Hooks. I want to welcome all of you to our VNI partner training for this Saturday, September 7th, 1 week into the new month, 2019, of course. I want to welcome all of you that are plugged in live, and those of you that are listening to the recordings. We actually get more playbacks in the week after an event, a live event, than we do active live participation. I think that'll change as we continue to move forward. But that's where we are now. So I want to commend you for taking time out of your busy schedule to invest into your VNI future. As you know, we're on a mission here. We're on a very important mission. And so for those of you that are perhaps brand new partners, I want to give you some context as to what we're going to experience together over the next little bit. This is a training that we do live every single Saturday. And various leaders lead the training. Last week, Ed and Gina Bender did a wonderful training. We've had Cynthia Sauer, we've had Ken Nasmus, we've had Mike Boston, we've had many others that take a vested interest in helping you and your team build your VNI business, expand the VNI mission. And so if you're brand new, the purpose that is certainly not to overload you with, if you're brand new, with everything that there is to know about VNI. That's not the purpose. The purpose is to help teach you some of the core fundamentals that you need in order to get your business off the ground, to get your business profitable, to begin to add customers, to begin to add partners, and start growing your team. So that's always our goal on these live trainings. And then for our existing leaders that are plugged in, I don't want to leave anybody out. We've got Ed and Gina Bender always leading by example, Donna Morrow, Cynthia Rose, many others. We got a number of people plugged in via the phone as well. So we want to welcome, again, all of you. And what's interesting is, if you're brand new, you might be asking yourself, why Ed and Gina Bender? Ambassador leaders working towards Crown Ambassador, the top income earners. They have the largest customer base. They have the biggest team in the entire world of VNI. And I'll tell you, with all due respect to our entire wonderful VNI family, they lead by example. They never miss events. Never. Even if they're not leading the event, they're always here, because with their Zoom platform, with our conference call platforms, for our monthly product call, monthly kickoff call, monthly corporate leadership call, we can see the attendee list, and they're always there. And so if you're brand new, you might be asking yourself, now, why in the world would the top leaders in the world of VNI always plug into the events, even if they're not the ones teaching and training? And if you're asking that, it's a good question. And the answer is, they understand the importance of leading by example. Leading by example. We're going to probably come back to that towards the end today. But I want you to write that down if you're brand new, or if you haven't marinated on that concept yet. The most important thing you can do to grow your VNI business is to lead by example with your partner team. Do what you want your people to do. And so, folks, we're excited. This, again, the mission that we're on at VNI, Victory Nutrition International, our mission is an important one. And if you're brand new, that's our mission: assisting people in becoming beacons of health, hope, and abundance. Helping people physically with our products, our amazing products that you can't get anywhere else. And you have access as an authorized partner of VNI to represent these products. We're never going to compete with you in the marketplace as a company. Our company is our partner field, our field leaders, our partners, and the corporate team. And the corporate team's job is to support you, to give you world-class products backed by unprecedented scientific validation that you can't get anywhere else in the world, and then to support you as you build your customer base and as you build your team, to give you the tools, the resources to help you spread your wings and reach your goals. Whatever your vision is, whether it's a part-time vision, and maybe, and this is a wonderful vision. Some of our partners want to just pay off some credit card debt. That's their initial game plan as they help people and bless people with these products, physically with these products, but also financially with our business model. Team, it's important to understand and I think we all know this, there is a massive need in the marketplace for our products, a massive need. I mean, think about just, I had a conversation before I worked out this morning related to stress in the modern world. I mean, think about, we're overworked, we're overstressed, as Ken Nasmith said on our Thursday night overview event, product and business overview. We're always connected to our digital device. So it's like we're on call 24/7. And we've got a solution. Anxiety, stress, your body being out of balance, not sleeping well. Now, we don't make the health claims. All we say is, hey, listen, let's give the body the materials that it needs, the nutrition that it needs, nutrition that gets in at a cellular level, so that the body can do what God made it to do. And in some cases that involves some repairing. That's certainly what's been going on with me over the last 13 and a half months since I've really been on a daily protocol with these products. Very simple. First thing in the morning, I take my Protovite, my brain reward, and now my Equigen, which is my GARS Restoragen product. And then at night, right before I go to bed, I take my Enzorb. It's a very simple protocol, but my body is loving it. And if you're brand new, yours will too. Stay with it. But that's our mission. Part of our logo is that lighthouse. That lighthouse. And if you think about and it's I want to share that with you because there's some depth to that. Our founder Bill Downs and our co-founder Kim Downs and Steve Kushner, our head of research and development, and Suzanne Brady, our head of marketing, and the core team. I mean, the lighthouse. This was not picked at random. I mean, candidly, this was picked prayerfully. But the idea is a lot of people, when it comes to their health, their physical health and their financial health, are in the dark. Think about what a lighthouse does. A lighthouse is designed, obviously, to, if there's a storm, if there's heavy fog, and a ship, certainly, and this is well before GPS, of course, but if a ship is trying to find the safe harbor and come in from the sea, the lighthouse was the only way that could happen safely, shining light into darkness, bringing clarity where there's a lack of clarity. And that's our goal, our mission. And when we're building our team, we talk about this all the time. If you're brand new, again, this is important. If you're not brand new, if you're one of our leaders, this is something you want to articulate because this is who we are. This comes straight from our founder. I mean, this is, and this comes from our leadership team. All of you, not just Ed and Gina Bender, Michael Saletti, Denise Blankenship, Rebecca Sidden, Cynthia Sauer, Lisa Turner, and on and on and on and on. Donna Marr, some of the names I mentioned before, Cynthia Rose. These are Stanley Schrock, our, Abner Fisher. I mean, our whole team believes in this and is committed to this mission. And it's a mission of contribution. It's a mission of giving before you get. I want you to remember that. If you're brand new, write that down. The goal, if you have a big dream to build a V&I customer base and set yourself free financially, then recognize it's about contribution. That opportunity is absolutely there. We've got people that are already there and that are making good progress every day, every week, every month to get to that point, whatever financial freedom is for you. But keep in mind, that's based on contribution, and that's an awesome way to think about business. It's an awesome way to think about business. Is the only way I'm going to win is by helping other people win. That's exciting. Now, we're going to get down to business here, and I've got a lot. I hope you will, again, if you're brand new, don't get overwhelmed. I want you to recognize that it's about progress. We talk about this almost every week. It's about progress, not perfection. And I want you to remember that. Give yourself some grace. You don't have to know everything. I will tell you, some of our fastest growing partners, and Ed and Gina Bender will tell you this, some of our fastest growing partners who are rank advancing, associate manager, executive manager, director, and beyond, know very little about the compensation plan details. They know very little about a lot of what's in the back office, But what they focus on is our mission. They're out there sharing the VNI products every single day with new people, and their business is growing. So you don't have to know everything. Don't get bogged down, folks. Don't, if you love details and it's important to you, then you can spend a little bit of time. It's your business. You're the boss of your own VNI position distributorship. But you don't really have to memorize everything that's on the label. You really don't. All people have to do is take the top off, pour an ounce, drink it, hold it in their mouth for 30 seconds or longer, swallow, and the product's going to do its job. You don't have to understand all the science. You can point people to the science if that's important to them. If you're a healthcare practitioner, or if you're dealing with a healthcare practitioner, you can point them to the information. You don't have to memorize the information. Very, very important. I forget what it was. I actually heard in a podcast a couple of days ago, Einstein, yes, the Einstein, wild hair, brilliant, was asked a question, and I'm not going to remember the question, so I'm not going to try to capture it. But he was asked a detailed question like, how many miles is it from point A to point B, something like that. And he said, why should I fill my brain with trivial nonsense that I can look up in a book? Because this was pre-internet, of course. I could look up in a book and have the answer in less than 2 minutes. And I thought that was pretty refreshing. You don't have to memorize everything. Just know where the information is. And just so you know, the information is there. Your marketing website has everything there. Your VNI Life app platform has everything that you need there. So it's about progress, not perfection. Now, with that being said, for some of our existing partners, some of the things that we're going to share today, I believe could create a breakthrough for you. An aha moment, an epiphany. Wow, okay, the dots, a couple, sometimes, at least in my own experience in life and in business, I'm not having the results that I know I'm capable of. And think of it as a combination lock that needs 4 numbers. And maybe you and I, maybe we've got the first 3 numbers. And all we need is that last number, that last digit on the combination lock to open the lock up and the floodgates pour and great things happen. And so that's often what happens with these trainings. It's maybe if you're an existing partner, again, with some experience, sometimes it's just one thing, one phrase, one question, one concept that maybe we look at it from a little different angle, and all of a sudden things open up. Now, a couple things that we want to talk about. We've talked about leading by example. We always talk every Saturday about the importance of staying plugged in. Stay plugged in, just like you're doing today. Stay plugged into the events. Don't isolate. Stay plugged into your upline success coaches. Stay plugged into the conference calls, the Thursday night presentations. That's so important to lead by example and stay plugged in, because that's going to fill you up. It's going to remind you and reaffirm your passion for what we're doing together and for the shared vision that we have in this mission with VNI, this mission of being a beacon of light in a world that needs it. So stay plugged in. But the other part of staying plugged in, this is so important. This is a leadership dynamic. I want you to write this down, the art of leadership. Leadership is both science and art. Even if your goals are very part-time, science is what we do. So specifically with VNI, it's what we do to build your customer base, what we do to build your team and to coach and shepherd your team. That's science. Pardon me, I had to clear my throat. Now, art is how we do it. And so there's an art to plugging in to, or staying plugged in. There's an art. The art is lead by example always, but influence your team, encourage your team to plug in. That's where the real key is. It's a great fundamental building block for you to be plugged in, leading by example. Candidly, that separates 80% of everybody that wants to actually do something. If you lead by example, if you do what you want your people to do, that's authentic leadership, and you're on the right track. Now, build on that. Build on that. The next step is get good, and it can't just be, leadership is not just blasting a text out or blasting out an email. That's communication, and that's good. That's fine. That's important. but you got to go a step beyond communication. So for example, it's calling me last night or calling me this morning if I'm on your team. And you know I've got a goal. You know I've got a vision for something that I want to create with V&I as part of the family. So you call me and say, hey, Jeff, or you leave me a voicemail. It's okay. Say, hey, Jeff, just making sure you're plugging into the 11 o'clock partner training. Going to be some great content that's going to really help you reach your goals for September. And if you knew for a fact last Saturday, Ed and Gina were training, if you know who's doing the training, but every Saturday as a team, we put a lot of effort in what we cover. We're not just playing pin the tail on the donkey or throwing darts. We spend time. I spend hours in preparation for what I'm going to cover, based on where the team is and based on feedback from our leadership. So again, staying plugged in is important, lead by example, but then as you move forward, give some thought, be very intentional about starting to have more of your people plug in, because that's the key. That's where massive growth is going to come from for you. It's one thing for you to be plugged in, but you need your team plugged in. It's great. Now keep leading by example, because you can't have your team plugging in if you're not leading by example. So you're off to a great start. You're doing a great job. That's the foundation. We can't communicate, or we shouldn't. We can't effectively coach and communicate something that we're not doing ourselves. I've seen, again, through my whole career, I'm not talking V&I specifically, but I've seen a lot of very smart people, well-intentioned people, try to head fake their team and coach their team to do things that they're not doing, and it never works. It's pretty interesting. So number one, stay plugged in. Number two, do something positive every day to build and grow your business. Do something positive every day. So consistency is another way of saying that. Consistency creates momentum, and momentum is sustained through consistency. So we're going to talk more about that as we move forward. But just remember that listen, our partner team, that's all of you, when you bring on board a brand new partner, one of the first things I want you to say after you've placed their product order and set up their subscription is walk them through those two principles. Just take 5 minutes. The importance of staying plugged in. Remember, plugging in is easy. But like we've talked about before, the things that are easy to do are also easy not to do. Okay? It's easy. Think about this. If somebody says, hey, I want to get healthier. I want to maybe shed some pounds. Okay, it's easy. Stop eating processed sugar and exercise at least 4 days a week. Okay, simple. Nobody's got to sit there and say, that's complex. You know, things that are easy to do are also easy not to do. And the same is true with V&I. It's easy to stay plugged in, but it's also easy to be watching TV right now. It's easy to do a million other things that we all have to do. Every one of us, every single one of us, and every one of your partners now and into the future, we all have a to-do list. I don't have mine right in front of me. We all have a to-do list that is typically more than we can do, right? So you got to make it a priority, and that's what you're doing. So stay plugged in, but also influence your team to do the same thing. Now, we're going to talk real quickly, something that, and this is by request. We call this the ingredients to success, and we haven't covered this in a few months. But this is important for all of us. The ingredients to success. Sorry, I'm trying to talk and cat at the same time. Ingredients to success. Okay, number one, these are things from our experience, from my experience, that every one of us needs to bring to the table in order for us to reach our potential, in order for you to reach your potential. You have to bring these 5 ingredients to the table. Think about it. No recipe, no dish that you're preparing, no V&I business that you're building can be its best without the right ingredients at the very beginning. So the first ingredient to success is desire. Desire. And folks, think about it. You can't teach people desire. So it's a desire on a personal level. It's a desire to get from point A, where you are right now, to point B, where you want to be. Now, when it comes to the products, that could be some physical health goals like I have that I'm working towards every day. And the products are a very, very important part of my health restoration plan. But from a business perspective, it could be, look, I want to pay off credit card debt. I want a children's education. I I want to supplement my retirement. I want to bring my spouse home. I want to quit working that second job, whatever it is. But you got to have a desire for something more in life, and not something more from a materialistic more, something more from a contribution standpoint, from a providing for your family standpoint. Again, debt. This is something we're going to talk about more as we build this brand in the months ahead. But from a partner team perspective, we're going to declare war on debt. Revolving credit card debt is absolutely hitting astronomical. I've shared in the past some of the most recent numbers. A large percentage of people, adults in the world, and I'll talk specifically U.S., are absolutely in bondage by debt. And think about it: an extra $500 a month, an extra $1,000 a month can set you free over time. So you got to have a desire, whatever that is. Have a desire for where you are now, point A, to where you want to go, point B, and recognize that V&I, as we engage in this mission of contribution, as we engage in this mission of giving before getting, can absolutely be the vehicle that helps you get at least some of what you want and some of what you feel led in terms of your vision for yourself and your family. So you got to have that desire. Got to have desire, and it's good to have clarity on that desire. And we've talked about it in the past. It's also good to write that down. Write down what it is that you're working towards, so that when somebody says boo or somebody says no thank you, you don't pack up your tent and leave the building. So, okay, that's number one, ingredient to success. Now, here's a tip. When you're out there sifting and sorting and sharing V&I from a product standpoint, when you're looking for partners, it is a sorting process, not a convincing process. I always tell people I look for people with a desire, both customers and partners. I'm looking for people with a desire for some positive change, physically in their health and wellness, and or financially, with what our business will help with. Look for people that have a desire for more, people that are very content, with their physical health and wellness, with their financial situation, with their lifestyle, with their freedom, with their career. People that are 100% content. They're not always willing to do anything, including take a simple 1 ounce product once a day. Not always. Now, we're not going to make that decision for them. We're going to share V&I with them and give them the opportunity. But just recognize that desire. I love to look for people with desire, a desire for some positive change in their life, because we all could use that. We all need that. That's one of the most amazing aspects of being part of the V&I team is you're plugged in. As you stay plugged in, you're plugged into positive reinforcement and encouragement and recognition. And it's a positive environment by design. That's who we are as a brand. That's who we are as a company. It's who we always will be. And so the world is pretty negative, but we want the V&I team to be very intentional about being a positive and encouraging place to learn and grow and help people. Now, the second ingredient to success is persistence. Okay? The only way to fail with your V&I business is to quit. And I want you to write that down. The only way to fail is to quit. Or to never get started, never, you keep V&I secret. Nobody knows, nobody knows even about the products, and that you're not going to receive, obviously you're not going to achieve what you're capable of if you keep it a secret, but persistence is the key. You've got to recognize anybody that's ever achieved anything in life, personally, professionally, in business, in sports, in music, in art. Every single man and woman through history has had multiple times where they hit a wall mentally or psychologically or emotionally. And they said, boy, quitting would be feels like it'd be a great idea right now. I'm not having a lot of fun at the moment. And you got to persist. You got to go back to point number one, ingredient number one, and say, why am I doing this? Remind yourself of what you're doing it for, and be willing to pay the price. That's, persistence is the key. I always tell people the bridge from where you are to where you want to go is persistence. And you just got to work through challenges. You got to stay the course. There's a learning curve in your VNI business, just like anything in life. And the more you do this, the more you plug in, the more you make a mistake and make a phone call and say, gosh, I wish I'd have asked that question. I wish I'd have said this. I wish I would have just simply opened a Protovite moment and said, hey, taste this, instead of talking. There's all kinds of, we're always going to have room for improvement. Remember that very first point I wrote, progress, not perfection. We got to give ourselves some grace, and we got to just stay the course. Okay. So that's important. So yeah, you're exactly right. You got to start, but then you got to stay with it. Persistence. Now, third ingredient to success, real important. Third ingredient to success is be coachable. Okay. Recognize, listen to the leadership team, listen to the team that's done, if you're fairly new in your journey, what you want to do. That's why on these events, we've got some amazing partner leaders, including every single person plugged in live today, including those that are listening to the replay. But we never put leaders in front of you and your team unless they're directors or above. Okay, because we want every single person that's coaching and sharing ideas and sharing best practices to be men and women that have done it and are doing it. We're never going to, I promise you, as a company, as a brand, we're never going to share half-baked ideas. We're never going to share theories on these trainings, because you're too precious to us and your time's too valuable. And we're only going to talk about principles that we know that work. So be coachable. Don't reinvent the wheel. Recognize that the wheel's already been invented, and all you got to do is learn to roll it. Okay, that's the difference. We don't have to invent fire. We just have to strike a match or use a lighter and make a good, healthy campfire. Okay, so so be coachable, and that takes some humility. Candidly, in my experience, a lot of individuals come in as what I call rugged individualists, like Frank Sinatra, and I love Frank Sinatra's music, but I'm going to do it my way. And usually Frank Sinatra type of a mindset ends up being somebody that I call it Casper syndrome. They come in, they're excited, they're ready to engage with the mission, and then they disappear. And you're like, where'd you go? I mean, we've got a lot of people to help. We've got some great things to accomplish, and they're gone because they tried to reinvent the wheel. They didn't have success. That didn't feel good, so they quit. So that gets back to persistence. But so you'll see how these are all tied together. These ingredients to success are all connected. Desire, the stronger the desire, the more likely you're going to be persistent. Okay. If you're coachable, you're going to have better results. So more likely you're going to be consistent. Okay. Makes sense? Now, number 4, last 2 ingredients. Recognize that the 4th ingredient to success is commitment. A mentor of mine used to say, commitment is what is left after the emotion of the moment has passed. Think about that. Commitment is what is left after the emotion of the moment has passed. Meaning, it's great as a new partner coming on board, engaging with the VNI brand, getting excited about contribution, having product results for yourself and your family, and you're like, I'm ready to share. That's great. But what's more important is, where's your commitment level a month from now, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, 3 years from now, depending on your vision, depending on your goals, right? So commitment is what is left after the emotion of the moment has passed. Anything worth doing is worth committing to. I've shared this before. Ken Blanchard, a thought leader, leadership expert, best-selling author, said, and I don't have it in front of me, so hopefully I'll nail it word for word, but if not, it's going to be close. He used to say there's a difference between being involved in something and committed to something. If you're involved in something, you will do it when it's convenient, only when it's convenient. When you're committed to something, you accept no excuses, only results. And folks, that's so true, even if you're building your VNI business part-time. we've got to be honest with each other and with our team that it takes commitment to do anything meaningful. It really does, which means some sacrifice. Maybe that means watching a little bit less TV. Maybe that means making some changes. It takes commitment. And we would be doing a disservice from a leadership perspective to not share that. Now, if your goal is to go out and create $300, $400, $500 a month with a customer base over the next 3, 4, 5, 6 months, you could do that easily. But if you want to build a business, and that's important, that's a wonderful goal. But if you want to build a significant business, if you want to go director, executive director, vice president, envoy, if you want to be on the envoy experience trip with us next year or in the years ahead, make no mistake, Ed and Gina are committed. They work hard and they have fun. They love what they do, and they're their own boss. They have the flexibility. If they want to take a day off, if they want to take 3 days off, they don't have to ask anybody. They've got the freedom and the flexibility, but it takes commitment. Anything worth doing is worth doing well, as Bill Downs says, and it's worth staying committed to. That's important for all of us to remember. So commitment is what is left after the emotion of the moment has passed. So there's a difference between being involved in V&I, where you'll engage in the activities only when it's convenient, when you have nothing better to do, is another way of saying that, and being committed to your V&I vision and the V&I mission, where you accept no excuses, only results. And what needs to happen with your business, it's happening across the company, but what needs to happen with your business in order for you to spread your wings and reach some of your objectives and reach your potential is you assemble and develop a team of partners. It only takes a few that are committed, that really aren't playing games. You're going to have a lot of wonderful partners that maybe aren't that committed, that are going to bring on customers, and everyone's going to be blessed. But make no mistake, if you want to go executive director and beyond, it takes commitment. And it's important to communicate that so that we never want to oversell or undersell who we are. You know, we are very proud. Our products speak for themselves, and our business model speaks for itself. But I never want to communicate, and I know you don't either, with someone that engages as a partner and says, "Hey, this is a piece of cake. You can go vice president in the next year or two, part-time piddling around, no problem." It takes commitment. It takes a commitment to serve, to help people. So that's number 4. Last, number 5, fifth ingredient, and I want you to watch this, how this ties it all together. Have fun. And I sincerely mean that. Have fun with your V&I business. Have fun with the process. Enjoy, like we talked about at the beginning, progress, not perfection. Give yourself some grace to make mistakes. And it's okay. You know what? Life will be so much easier for all of us if we gave ourselves a break. And I'm talking to myself, because I can be the hardest on myself if I make a mistake. And if you make a mistake with other people, say, "I'm sorry." Own it. So much tension happens when we try to deflect, and I tell my boys that my sons are 14 and almost 17, and just take responsibility. If you make a mistake, own it, learn from it, and move on. Don't beat yourself up. Learn the lessons and keep on trucking. And the same is true with you and me. The same is true with V&I. We're doing, as we started in some of the opening comments, this is important work, but have fun with it. Have fun with it. Now, from a leadership standpoint, consistent with your personality, don't, if you're not an extrovert, be yourself, be the best version of yourself, but have fun with the process. Don't be afraid to smile. I always tell, I try not to take, I live with myself every day, so it's pretty easy for me not to take myself too seriously. And literally just enjoy the process. That doesn't mean be goofy, even though I will be goofy sometimes, but just be yourself and have fun with the process. And if you make a mistake, relax. If you give wrong information when someone's learning about the products, say, "Listen, I'm sorry, made a mistake. One of my partners clarified it. I'm just sending you something via the app. I'm going to text you something that'll clarify." Whatever it is, or I'm going to put you on the phone with one of my partners, and they'll make sure you have clarity. It's okay. All right, those are the ingredients to success, folks. And I think it's important that we review those and you hold your, just periodically and say, how am I doing? Because each one of you have to bring these ingredients to the table in order for you to spread your wings and soar and do what you're capable of. Now, we're going to spend a lot of time now on the sharing process. Okay. We call it sharing activity. All right, we're going to spend really the rest of our time on this important concept. Now, if you've seen from your VNI Life app that the trainings that we did over the summer, how to share VNI, part 1, part 2, part 3. Part 1 is how to never run out of people to talk to. Part 2 is how to share. And part 3 is the follow-up. And I think it's important, if you haven't watched that, to go through it. It's important when you have a partner that really wants to build. When you've got a partner that has those 5 ingredients that we just talked about, and they've got those 5 ingredients, you need to put them through that 3 hours of training, okay? It's in their back office in the learning tab, but it's also on the app, so you could push it out to them with the push of a button, text or email. But that's 3 hours of training. They don't have to do it all at once. Say, hey, let's take the next week and go through this training and we'll talk about it. When you finish module 1, part 1, call me and we'll talk. When you finish part 2, that way you could onboard, think about it from a leadership perspective, you could bring on 5 partners in the next week and you could put them on this process. And that's 15 hours of training that you don't have to do. And then you follow up with a call afterwards and connect the dots for them. Maybe get them on the phone with your upline success coach with a strategy and a launch call. But so we're not going to get into some of the specifics of sharing. What I want to do is tie the sharing with the VNI Life app, and I want to give you some tips that I think will help. Now, if you're not familiar with the VNI Life app, download it. It's literally go to your, if you're Android or if you're iOS with Apple, go to your where you get your apps, and which is Google Play, I guess. So you go to the App Store or Google Play and look at VNI Life, download the app. As a partner, it's built in, it's yours, it's free, unlimited access as a partner. It's built into our partner fee, which is $4 a month your first year and $3 a month from that point forward. So you get the marketing website, all the tools, the resources, the back office, everything, access to Pay Quicker, the commissioning platform, everything's right there. The VNI Life app, folks, is the key. I will share with you this. Since we've launched that just over basically a week, our share activity is higher by far than it's ever been. And people are just getting comfortable with the app. Now, what you need to realize is, and I think you do, but from a leadership standpoint, with your own business, I'll speak first person now, just individually. The more, this is so important, the more new people you share the VNI products with per day, per week, per month, the faster your business is going to grow. We'll say that a little differently. The more new people you personally share VNI with, this is empowering. It's very elementary, but sometimes we don't always see things as simple as they can be or should be. The more new people you expose to the VNI products, the more customers you're going to add and the more partners are going to come on and want to engage with us in the mission of sharing. Okay. Now, from a leadership standpoint, keep leading by example. The more new people your team shares the VNI products with, the faster your customer base is going to grow, the faster your business is going to grow, and the more rank advancement, the more people you're going to have going and partners from associate manager to executive manager to director and beyond. Okay. So the sharing activity is where the rubber meets the road for you and your business. So when you look, rhetorical question, this is just for self-awareness. When you look at your own goals, make sure that the things that you want to achieve, ingredient number 1 that we just talked about, ingredient to success. When you look at what you want to achieve, make sure your sharing activity and your commitment, ingredient number 4, are in alignment with what you want to achieve. I'm going to say that one more time. Whatever you want to achieve with your V&I business, let's say, again, a goal, ultimately the goal, your goals with V&I should come down to how large of a customer base you want and what pin level you want to hit in terms of team building. So your goal could be, I want to be, my ultimate big goal is I want to be an envoy in 2 years. Okay, so September of 2021, I want to be envoy, and I want to experience that envoy trip every year from that point forward. That might be your goal. And then you back that down to, what does that mean for the month of September? September, I need to go executive manager, or I need to go manager. So the sharing activity and the commitment that makes that sharing activity happen needs to be in alignment with what you're trying to achieve. Make sense? Okay, so if I want to add 5 customers and rank advance to manager this month, make sure your sharing activity realistically supports that. Okay, you're going to have to share to have 5 customers. If it were me, I would say I've got to at least share the V&I products with 25 people this month to get 5 customers. 1 out of 5, conservatively. Okay, for you, it might be a little more. For others, it might be a little bit less. And it varies over time. Okay, so sharing activity is something we're going to focus on. And the beautiful thing is this: you control your sharing activity. You control your sharing activity based on your own effort. And it's never been easier. It's never been easier. The V&I Life app, it's never been easier. Tablet, smartphone, or even your PC or laptop, your desktop. But folks, I want to encourage you, use the app. Use it. It's a piece of cake. It's never been easier. It tracks you. It tracks your follow-up. It lets you know who's watching the videos that you're sharing. And so I want to come back to this. With the V&I Life app, you don't have to memorize everything to learn how simple it is. We've got trainings built into the app. Let me show you this. Customer videos, business building, customer. You've got partner trainings, if you can see that, partner trainings. But then, hold on. There. So I want to show you. V&I Life app training videos. If you haven't gone through those, they're not that long, go through those. It'll help you get comfortable with what an amazingly powerful tool you have at your fingertips. And recognize this, when you share, now remember the process we talk about, the sharing activity, okay, comes down to 3 things. We talk about this in that 3-part training. Get this typed out. Okay, sharing activity is invite people to learn about the V&I products, share the information, and follow up. Invite, share, follow up. I call that the pattern of activity, the pattern of sharing activity. And folks, that's at the end of the day. If you did nothing else with your V&I business except focus on that, you're going to grow. You're going to have success. You're going to have abundance. You're going to be making contributions. Okay? And so it really depends on your vision. And I'm getting some wonderful chats, but I want to. It's hard for me to read all of them. Think about what you want to achieve, even in the month of September, and recognize that it's the app itself. The app itself is the key to your sharing activity. And I want to give you a tip here. Less is more. Okay, less is more. Now, what do I mean by that? Okay, the tendency, at least in my own career, is when I want to share, so I'll speak specifically with V&I. When we want to share with V&I, the tendency, if we're not careful, is to overload people with information. Okay, forwarding too much stuff, and people are busy, and people have a lot going on. So when you share using the V&I Life app, I want you to think about this. This is why we designed it this way. You can't push out 10 videos and 5 links and PDFs on the product and everything else in one communication. by design, because less is more. What I've learned is recognizing that the sharing process is, and I've said this before, is a sorting process, not a convincing process. Okay, so what does that mean? It means that we're looking for people that are looking. Better health physically, better health financially. So the goal is, using the VNI Life app, is to say less to more people. I'm sending that in the chat too. Say less to more people. That's the key. The mistake so many, back to the sharing activity, so many people make, and I've done it in my career, is you might share with one or two people and then you get your hopes up. You get your hopes up. They have a need. They need the product. They're influencers, and they're looking for a new career path, or they're looking for an opportunity to create some additional income. Okay, folks, it's real important as we build this culture of contribution that we also recognize that making money is not a bad thing. Okay, making money, let's be honest. It's important to have money to take care of our family. It's important to have money to support our church or our favorite charities, grandchildren. So the difference is, we're looking for missionaries, not mercenaries. Our income, creating income with VNI, is based on your contribution. If it's okay to have big financial goals. If you want to create financial freedom and be debt free, and own a house at the beach, and drive a new car, and put your children or your grandchildren in the best schools, that's okay. If that's your vision, if that's your goal. But the beautiful thing about VNI is, the only way to achieve that, a great income, is by making a great contribution. Okay? And that's the exciting thing about it. So the way to do that all comes back to the sharing activity. And when we say less is more, that means share one video and then follow up and say, hey, what did you think? What did you like about what you saw and heard? And then just listen. Now, again, we go through the training, how to share part 1, 2, and 3. We go into a lot more detail. But remember this. It's going to be, if you texted out videos to your contacts, one at a time, but you did it a lot, you're going to have results. You're going to have new customers come on board. And if you follow up, you're going to have partners too. But if you make a phone call first, okay, that's the invite, share, follow up. And you say, hey, listen, do you have 5 minutes to watch a short video? Well, yeah, why? Well, listen, I'm going to shoot a video. I'm engaged with a wellness company, and these products are absolutely amazing. They've been whatever your story is, they've been such a blessing to me and my family. I know you're working on preparing for a triathlon. I know that you're just recovering from surgery. I know that, whatever the reality is, watch this video, and then I want to circle back up and get your feedback. If you'll make that phone call before, you're going to find your results going way up. Now, I'm just telling you, if you make the phone call, then share, invite, share, and follow up. If you just share, I'm repeating myself on purpose. If you just share, you're going to have results. But if you start with a phone call, and then you share, and then you engage in the process, and what we want to do is remember, it is a process. Okay, we're moving people to a good yes. And for those on the phone, I'm chatting. That's why I'm talking so slow. Move people to what I call a good yes or a good no. Meaning they're informed. They're aware of what we're doing. Okay? Now, here's the key. As you're sharing, don't let long periods of time go by without reconnecting. So set an expectation. If I follow up, if I share, we give you some tips on that training, and there's been some other wonderful coaching from Ed and Gina and others. But think about this. When you share and you're connecting that share, we always talk about the philosophy of make a friend, find a need, transfer the feeling. Okay, it's not just needs, it's needs and desires. Okay? Not our needs and desires, but needs and desires of the person you're sharing with. If we can connect that share activity with their needs and desires, where they're coming from. See, we always have to remember, and I remind myself, it's not about us. It's about helping the person we're talking to. And so when we talk and we connect, we want to be listening for needs in that individual's life, ways to help them, and desires in their life, needs and desires. And can our products and can our business model help them get where they want to go? Where they want to go, not where we want to go. So when you're in your sharing, if you'll do if you'll keep in mind, when you're using the VNI Life app, if you'll make a phone call, go that extra step, invite, share, follow up first, set an expectation. Jeff, when can you watch this short video? I can watch it tonight. Great. Let's follow up. Now, the beautiful thing is don't tell them that you know when they've watched. Okay. So if they say, if you're sharing with me, for example, and I say, I'll watch it tonight, I'll be home about 8 o'clock and I'll watch it. And you say, great. Well, then I'll follow up with you about 8:30. How's that sound? And I say, great. Well, you're going to know if I watch the video or not, but you should still follow up at 8:30. Now, when you follow up at 8:30, don't guilt trip me. Don't say, hey, thought you said you were going to watch the video. Boom, boom, club me over the head. No, say, hey, listen, did you have a chance to watch the video? And they say, no. Well, listen, do me a favor, watch it now. I'll watch it now, and I'll call you back in 5 minutes. It's a short video. And just move people along. Be very positive in the process, but move people to a good yes, an informed yes, or a good no. And if you get a good no, ask for referrals. I call that networking through the no. So if somebody says, it's just not a fit right now, I'm just too busy, whatever it is. Hey, great. Who do you know that's committed to health and wellness? Who do you know that's an elite athlete? Who do you know that's battling some health challenges? Who do you know that's entrepreneurial and would like to make some extra money? Who do you know that's in the middle of a career search? Who do you know that's dissatisfied with what they're doing? I call that networking through the no. Networking through the no. N-O, the no. Okay? Does that make sense? So engage in the sharing activity, folks. And I'll tell you, Ed and Gina Bender didn't get as good as they are now magically. They did it through practice and repetition. Ken Nasmitz, Mike Dannenberg didn't bring over 100 people, didn't bring us over 100 people in just a few months by not making mistakes. I promise you, he's made mistakes. And we've talked about, okay, I should have done this, or I can follow up with that. And the app, folks, the app is a game changer for all of us. It puts the power of sharing right in your hands, right in your hands. So when you share and kind of intersect that sharing activity with a need or a desire, your results are going to go way up. Now, when you intersect the share with a need or desire, and during the process, you share your own story, that's usually in the follow-up, usually, not always, then all of a sudden you've checked all the boxes. So make a phone call before you share. All right, before you use the VNI Life app. Well, let me back up. Go through the VNI Life app trainings. They're not long, folks. Get good. This is the key to the vault, folks. This is where it's at. This is how you're going to be able to do anything you want to do with your VNI business in terms of just pay the price, focus on contribution, use the VNI Life app. Then you've got your marketing website and your back office. Everything's in place. You've got your upline success coaches. We've got the trainings. Everything is there. Everything's there. Now we're going to point that activity towards some VNI Vision Tour events this fall in Charlotte, North Carolina, which we've already announced, September 24th, October 22nd off the top of my head. Then we're going to have events in Reston, Virginia, and Front Royal, Virginia. Okay, so we're going to have 6 events that are already in the process of being planned out that everyone can plug into. But you want to build in your local market, bloom where you're planted. So the share activity, make the phone. So let me back up. This is repetitive as we close. Go through your VNI app trainings that I showed you. I want to do it one more time so you know exactly where it is. So this is, you see the same thing when you go to your VNI Life app. Scroll down, keep scrolling until you get to VNI app training videos. And then when you click on see all, it's only 5 videos right there. I know the brightness is, there we go. Right there. They're all right there for you. Go through those so you get comfortable with the app. You don't have to memorize everything because it's very easy to share, and you can do it. You don't have to do it all at once. Do it a little bit at a time, but get comfortable with that app, the VNI Life app, and then recognize, make a phone call before you share, and you're going to be efficient. You're going to be effective. It's simple. It's easy. It's something you can do. Make that phone call. Work towards, when you're listening to the people you're sharing with in the process, in the sharing process, then listen for needs and desires, merge the needs and desires with the conversation, share your story, and you're going to win. I'm telling you, that's it. This is the secret sauce that we don't always get into. And if you're brand new, don't be overloaded. You can watch this training a few times. Repetition is one of the keys to learning. And again, have fun with it. That fifth ingredient to success. So folks, I hope this has been helpful. I am so excited for our future together. I'm so excited and appreciative of your leadership. And the sky really, you know what? The sky, remember the saying, the sky is the limit? I got something for you here. Hold on. For the VNI family and for you and for your team, the sky's the limit. We had it with us. That's not true. The sky was the limit. The sky was the limit. We're gonna go way beyond that. We're gonna go to the stratosphere together, and we're gonna do that one person at a time, helping people, blessing people with these products, blessing people with the VNI mission. And I appreciate your leadership. So have a great day. Go and grow. Get out there and share this weekend. Have fun with the VNI Life app. And we will talk to you, if not before, we'll talk certainly Thursday night at our product overview session. I hope. How many guests are you going to have? That's the exposure activity. Use the app to share, and then people that are interested for more, if you want to, point them to a live event, or send them a recorded. You've got the recorded event right there at your fingertips. Watch this. Hold on a second. VNI. Again, I know you're going to know this, but where are we? Yeah. Customer, product, and business overview. So I can click on that, and I can share the recorded presentation that was from last week. We haven't posted the most recent one. Okay? Piece of cake. So have fun. Go and grow. The sky was the limit. I appreciate all of you. Have an awesome day and a great weekend. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.